We got some storyboard confirmation for Sky Striker in the Story of White. If you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more honest content. So, has it already been this long without more Sky Striker posting? So, for those of you that didn't pay much attention to Jump Festa, or you might have missed this important piece, there was a giant showcase of video displaying some certain important art pieces from the stories out here, and we actually got some info on these. So this is actually kind of interesting. So at Jump Festa 2025 event held this past week, and there was an art gallery with various Yu-Gi-Oh related arts, including card images, reference arts, and a video showing the Yu-Gi-Oh Chronicles animated trailer. So here are the two videos. Furthermore, the storyboards displayed at the gallery have been uploaded to the OCG Twitter. So here's our Sky Striker one. Now, translating this is going to be pretty simple here for you. So, Sky Striker, a story of a girl who enters the battlefield wishing for peace. The Sky Striker, a weapon developed with high technology in order to resist a powerful military nation, which we kind of had that idea. And furthermore, the girl who is the key to operate such weapon is Rey. The girl entrusted with the Sky Striker becomes a Sky Striker ace in order to defeat the people of her nation, or in order to defend the people of her nation, entering a cruel battlefield. The other Sky Striker, Rey, faces countless enemies as she fights bravely in the battlefield. However, a girl with the same Sky Striker as her suddenly appears in front of her. Rose, a new Sky Striker created by the enemy nation, mercilessly wields her blade against a perplexed Rey. After exchanging countless slashes, what kind of future will the two girls arrive towards? So, as usual, Sky Striker here is a reference to the equipment itself and would work better if translated as Flashblade, which I do agree with that. The Sky Striker stuff, because, you know, the swords themselves, the girls are just the means to wielding these. It's kind of like a reference to Blaster Blade and Blaster Dark from Vanguard, where the swords themselves are the names of them. Meanwhile, the swordsmen themselves are technically, I believe it was Swordsman Ames was the original name to that. So there's that. Now, what about our Story of White? Now, I do love the feel that we have here with the Ecclesia about to just bash in poor fallen of Albaz's head, but she actually hesitates, which is what kind of creates the element or the feeling between these two, kind of creating that love story for her hesitating against Albaz themselves. So, the Story of White, the story of the boy and the girl guided by fate. A land ruled through faith, the Dogmatica nation, which is just the story of the church as predicted in, or portrayed in a lot of stories as corrupt, is actually very, very, very tasteful of them to imitate that. One day, a hole opens up in the sky and a dragon appears from it. With the power of the Holy Maiden of Dogmatica, Fleur-de-Lis, the dragon was struck down, but what landed in the expected crash site was a wounded boy, which, by the way, Fleur-de-Lis really went to town here, smashing down poor fallen of Albaz in his dragon form. But I am wondering if one of the cool things that we'll get here will be like a base form of Fallen of Albaz. I mean, we've had Albion already, but I think it would be really, really cool to maybe capture at least that, a new retrain of Fleur-de-Lis and a new Ecclesia are kind of expected here. In the middle of the fight, the other Holy Maiden, Ecclesia, decided to protect the boy, but at this act was an affront to the sacred teaching, and she was denounced for it. They were saved by the organization that opposed the Dogmatica, the Tri-Brigade, and that they managed to escape the battlefield, fleeing the nation. Yeah, the Tri-Brigade really, really got in there. Albaz, a young dragon boy with no memories. Ecclesia, a banished holy maiden. Their story begins now. And that, I mean, those are your beginning storyboards out here. Keep in mind, the way it looks, we're heading on into, 1301 out here. We are done with the nostalgia block. Thank you. And we are actually going to be using these promotional animes, what most of us are expecting to be, future cover cards and things like that. Now, in terms of what we got here, you got very introductory stuff. It does lay the very big base groundwork out here. But now I kind of wonder how long these promotional animes are supposed to last, because it's very, very, very apparent here that they are weaving full frickin' stories here. Like, they are not holding back on these details, which is very, very nice to see. And especially, they're talking about, exchanging mini blows. The actual story itself went into way more detail about, Rey's origin and things like this. But the way it looks here, you're not going to get that super detailed approach to this. You're probably going to get, a little bit of Rey, kind of becoming the Sky Striker. You'll probably get some battlefield images of her going through maybe some mode changes and things. And you'll start to see, Rose come into the story, the conflict with Rose and so forth. And then the probably, I guess, spoiler alert, them kind of fighting together and fighting down whatever enemy that they're going to be fighting. Now, technically, this story doesn't have an actual big ending, if I recall, because it was just they're fighting together as a nation. So we might be getting some details on that, but the manga story and the lore that they projected here feel a little bit different in that regard. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, because this feels like this could be done in 10 minutes. This feels like it could be done in 30 minutes. And if we're going to do a nice 30-minute episode here on the detail of this, and they can jam-pack all of this into a 30-minute scenario, that's fine. If it's going to be a 10-minute wrap through, though, that's going to be a little bit disappointing. That's why, I was looking at this stuff here. This goes all the way through, probably the Tri-Brigade arc, where you'll probably get to the Spriggan arc and so forth as well. But, when we start getting into, like, the actual war stuff with, our dear old friend in the Bystials and Aluber and shit like that. This section, I do not think you can do the Fallen of Albaz section in 10 minutes. Like, I think that's actually impossible. You're going to probably need to do this in multiple parts, which if it starts in April, and you have 9 episodes this year, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Fallen of Albaz section take up a good 2 to 3 parts of this. The lore in Albaz is so intense that I'm very, very curious to know how they're going to do this. And I'm expecting that this is probably going to take up a good part of the year, actually. Just to kind of, get through the first story, showcase, the Tri-Brigade interfering, the Golden Gundala arc, through the desert, exploring some of the other parts with that, how are we going to offshoot with the Tri-Brigade, how are we going to deal with Kit's adventure up to deal with the Thurions, how much of those side stories are we going to be capturing down here for this? How much detail are we going to be pushing out here for this? Because you have 2 very huge stories here. And I don't know, you can tell I'm excited, right? You can tell that, we have storyboards for this. We have the groundwork laid for this. I'm curious to know where we're going to go. The fact that, they're emphasizing Fleur de Lis here, I'm expecting retrains on all of these, especially if we're laying the new groundwork for these cards. A new Fleur de Lis is definitely something that we need to be seeing out here, because she kind of got screwed over in the story. Bad things happened to her, which is a real big shame. But also, are we going to get a new Rey and a new Rose here? In terms of things, I mean, we always wanted particular things, but, I don't know. Sky Strikers could use a new field spell. I mean, it depends. The Sky Strikers are only technically 5 years old at this point, and I'm actually heading into 6 now. So, we are very nostalgic in the fact that, they're revisiting this to pump it on up. We'll have to wait and see. So, yeah, storyboards are here. We got some beautiful reference work with this. I'm super excited to see what they're going to do. I love the fact that the stories are real, that the monsters that we love have come out. We're getting the chance to see them be animated. And this is truly just a good day in general to be a Yu-Gi-Oh player. So please leave a comment down below. Know what you guys think. And of course, I will see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys, with some Tournament of Madness. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.